we are going to get the first heat of the women's elimination round underway here with Nadia N.Erostarbe representing the Basque Country. She'll be out there in the white jersey. We've got Sawyer Lindblad, who had a slip up with priority in the opening round and finds herself here. She's in the red jersey. And Luana Silva, who had that amazing second place finish down at Bell's, her first CT final.
Yeah, absolutely. And I was even kind of talking to it yesterday. You know, making your first final is such a, you know, big thing emotionally, as we see first wave of the heat. Sawyer Lindblad starting on the inside.
Such a strong backhand. Sawyer drives up into the section, climbs up over the lip. This wave's starting to slow up for her now. She'll tap into that amazing backhand rhythm, and she drives off the bottom for the finish, and a really positive start for Sawyer.
Yeah, so looking at this wave from Sawyer off the top there, and just coming around the section and gets a nice sort of tap there, but nothing too critical. She was kind of just working this wave through to see if it was going to give her anything punchy, and you know, obviously 4 turns here, finished off really nice, but with about a minute to go under priority.
A positive start for Sawyer. We'll see how Luana goes here. Good looking wall, couple of big sections, and that has been
Nadia's first opening exchange, and they had 2 turns, but you'd say a lot more punch to them. So, you know, Luana, these have been her go-to big.
In the last event in particular, throwing down big turns and being massively rewarded for it. And Nadia getting in on the mix too. So a great exchange to kick things off here on day 2 of the event window. It's just after 7:30 a.m. here. Grey skies, but clean conditions. A nice texture on the water, and it's allowing these competitors to really throw some great turns at us.
And then Nadia here also, her wave just stood up and kind of gave her more of a cupped out lip to hit.
Yeah, she did really well with it.
Yeah, no, that was the cool thing about yesterday afternoon, you know, so much, you know, fluff on the water out the back, but the faces were so clean.
Kept its form on the inside. And this is Nadia. She's had a cupful of these early round heats. She wants to get to the final series of a CT event, using her opportunities as a replacement competitor. And she has backed up her 6.67 nicely there. Her face every time you see her as we go to the Bonsoy replay of that second ride.
Yeah, I think she just wanted to get something under her belt to put some more pressure on, you know, had third priority here. So, you know, it's going to come in at a, you know, mid-range score. Well, around that 3.5. But I think just wanting to just squeeze it.
Some expectation and a bit of heat, but it's special if you get the victory.
Yeah, absolutely. And the Burleigh board riders was going absolutely nuts for Liam yesterday. It was so cool to see. So we have an important ride here, Luana Silva.
Yeah, Luana, she has repeated her performance on her opening ride and thrown down a couple of big turns, but this one's maybe even better, Bugs.
I think it is, because the first turn was crisp.
Oh, wow.
But they're just not going to make the cut this year, so they kind of get a bit of an extra holiday.
Wow. Well, here we go. Sawyer making her move. Nice hit there. As she moves through to the inside. Needs a 5.01. Really making sure she gets that finished. We've seen saw a few surfers yesterday kind of fall just short of the requirement and started pushing herself straight away, and as you said, chasing those big moments. She's chasing one here.
Yeah, I feel like this wave kind of, she had some good surfing done on it. Didn't really have that big section. When we think back to Luana's and Nadia's waves, this is kind of, you know, it's feeling more like her first wave, a more sort of long-winded wave with not too much critical surfing on it, but we'll see where the judges go. I think it could be really close to the score, because she did get some turns in, but I think they're going to hold back. You can try to push it on a wave that you think, you know, you can oversurf, like a worse wave, or you try to wait for something and then undersurf it, like a really good one, and then, or you just go for it and try to surf for a 6 or something. But Sawyer's not going to let that stop, and she's found an inside drainer.
Such a strong backhand already, a couple of decent turns. This wave stood up nice. She kicks the tail on the final turn, and that way will help her solidify that second position. Unlikely it'll be the 7.23 and see her into the lead, but like we've said many times in heats like this, where there's 3 people and there's 2 spots to progress.
Law of attraction, create your own luck, make your own destiny, and that's exactly what she's done right now.
Oh, here we go. This is Nadia having a go at it. A minute and a half remaining, needs a 5.2. It's a smaller wave, a tricky one with some foam on the face. She did pretty well, but it's going to fade out at the end. And the replacement surfer just tactically being schooled here.
Yeah, this is going to be, I think, maybe one of Nadia's hardest losses, having the, one of the highest scores of the heat and just not being able to back it up. But when you look at these scores, all of these ladies haven't caught a lot of waves, but yeah, this wave just didn't give her that section I think that she was after, and then obviously just...
We stay at 35-minute heats. That gives them, the competitors, just a little bit more time to be selective.
Well, Nadia gets a shot here in the dying stages. One turn. Rips the top off it, but can't ride through that impacting water. It knocks her off and doesn't want to lose touch with her place in the top 10, Sawyer Lindblad. An impressive bounce back